What unfolds when a live studio atmosphere, usually warm, controlled, and predictable, shifts in a heartbeat into something explosive and unscripted? Camera. A sweeping crane push across the brightly lit This Morning set. Crew members hurriedly thread cables. Audience chatter ripples like static electricity. Narrator. VO. Steady. Cinematic. In this video, we take you inside a dramatic, tense recreation of an on-air clash that spiraled into a moment no one expected. An encounter that shook even the most seasoned hosts. Cut to Int. This Morning studio. Backstage. Day. The energy is strangely heavy. Assistants whisper. A producer taps her clipboard over and over, as if trying to vent nerves through plastic. Dermot O'Leary strides through the corridor, sharp suit, steady heartbeat, but his eyes flicker with something brewing beneath the surface. Not anger, not dread, something unspoken. Alison Hammond follows behind, holding her cue cards, smiling, but the smile is tight, controlled, practiced. Alison, quietly glancing at Dermot. "You good?" Dermot smiles faintly. "Always good, just a lively morning ahead." The producer waves them closer. Producer. "Okay." Prince Harry is in the green room. He's been very particular about which topics are allowed. "Stay within the guidance, all right?" Dermot and Alison exchange a look. Alison, soft chuckle. "Guidance, right." Dermot. "And if he goes off the rails?" Producer. "He won't. Just stick to the outline." But they both know guest interviews never stick to outlines. Cut to NT. Green room. Moments later, Prince Harry sits stiffly, flipping through notes given to him by comm staff. His jaw clenches every few seconds. Tiny tension pulses. He looks like someone who's bracing for another round of scrutiny. Harry, to aid. No questions about the memoir. No questions about the family. And absolutely no... The aide hands him tea, nodding mechanically, already numb to the repetition. Aide. "They've been briefed, sir." Harry exhales, but the tension remains. Cut to NT studio. Live broadcast starts. The opening music fades. Audience applause swells. Camera 1 pushes in on Dermot and Alison at the couch, smiling warmly. Dermot. "Good morning and welcome back. Our next guest is someone who's been at the center of global conversation." Alison. "Prince Harry joins us today to discuss his work, his projects, and the causes he's passionate about." Cue. Prince Harry enters to applause. He shakes hands stiffly, sits down, adjusts his jacket 3 times. Camera note. A bead of nervous energy clings to him. Alison, smiling gently. "So, Harry, your charity initiative has really captured public attention recently. Tell us what inspired this new direction." Harry, relieved. "Safe question." "Well, it's about giving back, creating space for dialogue, helping people who..." As he speaks, Dermot studies him. Not unkindly, but with a sharp journalistic scrutiny that can look intimidating. Cutaway. The audience leans in. Harry continues, relaxed, until... Dermot, tilting head. "You mentioned creating space for dialogue, but many people feel you've shut down dialogue with your own family. Do you see the irony there?" The air freezes. Harry's eyes widen. Alison's eyes snap toward Dermot in warning. Alison, calm but firm. Dermot. But Dermot doesn't break gaze. Dermot. "It's a fair question. If we're talking about openness, transparency, communication, why avoid it at home?" Harry's throat tightens. A microsecond of anger flashes. Camera cut to audience reaction. Raised eyebrows, muttered whispers. Harry, with a brittle smile. "I thought we were here to talk about my work." Dermot. "We are, but your work is built on advocacy for mental health, communication, reconciliation. Yet the public sees contradiction. Don't you think it's reasonable to address that?" Alison steps in smoothly. Ice over fire. Alison, Harry, we understand you've set boundaries. But you also know this is a conversation people care about, right? Harry's hand tightens around his microphone. Harry, what people care about often feels more like what people want to exploit. The tension is thick, sticky, suffocating. Dermot leans forward. Dermot, no one here is exploiting anything. We're just acknowledging context. You knew the world would be watching. You always do. Alison sees the tremor forming at the edges. Alison, let's steer gently. Harry, interrupting. No? Let him finish. If he has something to say it. Dermot blinks. The challenge is accepted. Dermot, Harry, the public feels you want privacy while staying in the spotlight. There's a contradiction, and avoiding the conversation doesn't solve it. Harry shifts forward, an emotional wave rising. Harry, maybe people should try listening instead of prescribing what they think I am. Audience. A ripple of nervous laughter. Alison places a calming hand on Harry's arm. Alison, hey, look at me for a second. Breathe. Harry does, barely. Dermot watches them both, trying to maintain balance between honesty and provocation, but the spark has already ignited. Harry turns back to Dermot. You don't know what it's like to be born into that life, to have your trauma consumed for entertainment, and now you're asking me to justify my choices on live TV? Dermot's jaw firms. Dermot, I'm asking you to address what the public already sees. Harry laughs once, sharp, hurt, defensive. Harry right, the public, convenient shield. Alison, interjecting quickly. Let's reset. Let's shift to the charity. But Harry's emotions are rising like a tide he can't stop. Harry, maybe the public should stop treating me like a headline. Dermot, maybe stop acting like one. A collective gasp fills the studio. Harry's eyes snap up, wounded, furious. Harry, with a low intensity. Are you trying to humiliate me? Dermot freezes. That was not what he intended. Alison looks at him sharply. Alison, Dermot, what are you doing? Dermot straightens, realizing too late that the conversation has crossed a line. Dermot, Harry, that's not... Harry. It feels like it. Silence. Long. Raw. Alison looks between them, then at the cameras, then back at Harry. Alison, let's pause the tension for a second. We're live, and this matters. So let's be kind, yeah? Harry exhales shakily. His composure is hanging by threads. But the damage is done. The atmosphere is no longer a broadcast. It's a battlefield. The screen cuts back in with a slow dissolve. The studio, mid-breath, holding tension like a fragile glass sphere. Camera. A tight shot on Prince Harry, shoulders stiff, eyes lowered but burning beneath. Camera 2. Dermot. Still, expression unreadable, but his pulse visibly sharp at the temple. Camera 3. Alison. Caught between diplomacy and dread. Narrator, VO, low, tense. What happens when a conversation meant for clarity cracks open raw emotion instead? When the cameras keep rolling, and the world watches a moment neither side meant to ignite. Cut 2. Int. This morning's studio. Continuous. Everything feels louder. The hum of the lights, the breath of the crew, the heartbeat of the room. Alison, softly coaxing calm. Let's breathe for a moment. All of us. Harry leans back, jaw clenched, but he's trying so hard to control something that keeps slipping. Dermot, speaking carefully now. Harry, I wasn't trying to diminish your experience. I asked because people have questions, and we're here to have conversations, not PR recitations. Harry's eyes lift. A fire hides behind the exhaustion. Harry, you think everything I say is PR? Dermot. No, but I think you're selective. Harry lets out a slow, bitter exhale. Harry, I'm selective because the alternative is being torn apart by strangers with microphones. A ripple of murmurs sweeps through the audience. Alison steps in with a calm that feels like emotional first aid. Alison, Harry, no one here wants to tear you apart. Not me. Not Dermot. not the folks watching. But when you sit here, on this couch, you're opening a door, and people do want to walk through it. Harry looks at her, and the tension breaks slightly, not in resolve, but in vulnerability. Harry, quiet. Sometimes I wish the door could stay closed. Alison's expression softens deeply, almost maternal. Alison, then let's open it slowly, together. Dermot watches the exchange with a complicated mix of guilt, frustration, and the duty to keep the conversation real. He inhales, then makes a decision. Dermot, Harry. Look, maybe I pushed too directly, but I'm not here to embarrass you. I'm here to ask the things we'd ask anyone with this level of influence. Harry hears the apology buried inside, but it isn't enough yet. He watches Dermot with the weary distrust of someone who's been ambushed too many times. Harry, and do you think I owe the world every painful detail of my life? Dermot, numbershand. Beat. But the world sees you as someone who stepped out of the institution while still speaking from a platform higher than most. They see contradictions. They ask questions. Harry sits up, slowly, deliberately. Harry, I stepped out of the institution to survive, not to perform. A silence ripples outward, thick and human. Alison places a hand over her heart instinctively, absorbing the weight of the words. Dermot, gently. Then tell them that. Tell them clearly, not through guarded lines.